Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm Dr. Daniel Shore, co-founder of Multi-Team Solutions, here with the CTO from Girl Security, Lillian Teng, and we are here to share a little bit about what's going to happen in Hacking Cybersecurity Leadership at Black Hat USA 2026 in Las Vegas, and wanted to give you a little insight into the types of things we're going to be covering, and do that from Lillian's personal and professional experiences to share a little bit about the perspective she'll bring in as part of our training team, and that we will facilitate and support you in exploring for yourself and in the peer community of cyber leaders who will be in the room together for the 2 days of training.
Early on in my career as a special agent at NCIS and later leading cyber threat intelligence teams in the private sector, I noticed stress manifesting as siloed hyperfocus.
Hmm.
When a major incident or a breach happens, cyber teams naturally tend to put their heads down and lock themselves into their work.
Yeah.
And while that focus is necessary for the task at hand, the pressure can cause people to stop communicating across teams. They stop asking for backup and they internalize the entire weight of the organization's defense. And as a leader, I realized that this stress wasn't just a feeling, it was actually manifesting as a physical barrier to the collaboration we needed to defeat the event or stay resilient.
Wow. Yeah, and it is that personal and professional experience that happens all simultaneously. And so, in the training, we're going to explore what your default responses are and understand what are the other choices, what are the other ways and pathways that you can take when you're in that response mode. And then how do you build that into skills and habits and get support from the people around you? So, next up, I was curious, a moment where you realized that pressure had started to feel normal in your work, and what stood out to you about that?
So I don't think it was specifically a moment, but what I've come to realize throughout my career is that you can't run a long-term team on a short-term crisis mindset.
Hmm.
When you're living in this constant state of high alert, it starts to feel standard, and that standard masks burnout as productivity. So for me, it was realizing that normal was actually unsustainable, and it's what forced me to change how I prioritize and define operational success for my teams.
Yeah, and I'll home in on that word prioritize. That as we go through the training, one of the pieces that goes through the entirety of the 2 days is identifying where are your priorities, because you have to be precise if you're going to start to figure out where you can make change, where you can better your leadership situation, and grow your own skill set in order to build your own resilience. And that requires some real precision because we all have limited capacity. All right, one more question here. Thinking about, being part of the training team and being in the room, what is something you see as different about what leaders will get from being in this training, which is a really important question because there are plenty of leadership trainings out there. There are not so many that are designed specifically for cyber leaders.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited to be on the team to provide this training. Having spent so many years across government, finance, technology, I've attended my fair share of executive seminars.
Yeah.
And what makes this experience completely different is we're focusing on integrating and understanding personal work styles and values into leadership
Mhm.
rather than asking you to leave that at the door. It's the absolute opposite of a generic corporate template.
Yeah, I appreciate that a lot. We are certainly striving to customize this training for the audience in the room. It comes from, years of cybersecurity research that was government funded and now translated into practical tools, skills, and conversations. And again, creating that community in the room for everyone who's there. And you can come spend time with Lillian and I and the rest of the training team in early August. So register as soon as you can. We want to make sure there's a spot for you, and we'll see you there.